Let's dive into the most jaw-dropping, top-trending WWE news picks that are guaranteed to blow your mind, including Paul Heyman notices The Rock's L sign at Roman Reigns, update on CM Punk's status for WrestleMania weekend, Rhea Ripley makes a big demand to Triple H, who is Gunther facing at WrestleMania. Triple H is unhappy with Naomi, Dominik Mysterio quits the Judgement Day, The Rock attacks Cody Rhodes' family, The Rock's presence on SmackDown affects other popular stars. Let's dive right into it. First, let's look at the major update on CM Punk's status for WrestleMania weekend. Despite not having a match at the show of shows, WWE star CM Punk might still play a significant role in this year's WrestleMania extravaganza. This year at the Royal Rumble, the straight-edge superstar tore his right tricep, forcing him to sit out the biggest show of the year. Punk continued to participate in the panel at the WrestleMania kickoff show in Las Vegas despite this. Additionally, during the tapings on February 19, he made an unexpected cameo following the cancellation of Monday Night Raw. Sean Ross Sapp provided some details on Punk's current status earlier this week during a Q&A session on Fightful Select. He asserted that WWE was eager to have him participate in WrestleMania 40 in some way. He added that the best in the world was supposed to appear on Raw's go-home show before the WrestleMania. Sapp remarked that Punk would be involved in the events in some way, though he could not say exactly how. Next up, Rhea Ripley makes a big demand to Triple H. While WWE was in Australia, Rhea Ripley disclosed that she had made a request to Chief Content Officer Triple H. In the evening's main event at Elimination Chamber, Perth, the Nightmare prevailed over Nia Jax to hold onto her Women's World title. After her huge victory, Ripley broke down in tears and was showered with praise by her fellow citizens. Rhea Ripley chatted with Inside the Ropes' Alex McCarthy following the win. She disclosed that she had a conversation with Triple H on a future WWE tour of Australia. I already asked him. I hope we come back more, I really do, because I would. I mean, did you hear that crowd? They were amazing the entire show, and I feel like sometimes with crowds they get a little over it just because they're spoiled. They're spoiled, come on America, you're spoiled, you know it. So no, it's really nice to be back, and it felt like the Puerto Rico show for Zelina Vega, except this was my turn, so I hope that little gremlin is sitting at home, smiling about how emotional I got, because I know that she's going to give me so much key for it. Next up, who is Gunther facing at WrestleMania? A veteran has suggested that another superstar take on the Imperium leader at WWE WrestleMania XL rather than Sami Zayn confronting Gunther. There has been a noticeable increase in Sami Zayn's fan base over the last several weeks. Even though he lost the tag team titles he shared with Kevin Owens, his in-ring momentum has suffered a serious knock, which may be explained by his image as the underdog babyface. His latest cryptic remark has also given rise to speculation that he would face Gunther at this year's show of shows. But this prospective title match does not sit well with seasoned former WWE writer Vince Russo. In Russo's opinion, Bobby Lashley would make a better opponent for Gunther in WrestleMania 40. Speaking with Russo on Sportskeeda Wrestling's writing, the seasoned pro said, "Do we know what we are doing with Gunther at WrestleMania? That's what I would do. Lashley's Gunther. Absolutely. So you can't call that bro, you can't call that. I mean, that's what I would do. They have to pull off better than Sami Zayn and Gunther." Vince Russo believes it would be foolish to give the Intercontinental Championship title to Sami Zayn, given how significant Gunther's reign has been. During an episode of Legion of Raw on Sportskeeda Wrestling, the former writer for the WWE voiced contempt for the notion that Zayn would wind up with the Intercontinental title. If they put Sami Zayn over Gunther, I may just throw in the towel. at that point. What WWE intends to do with Sami Zayn in the weeks leading up to the road to WrestleMania XL is still unknown as of right now. Next up, Triple H is unhappy with Naomi. Triple H has brought back a number of stars who were previously removed from the WWE and promoted talent from NXT, giving the roster much-needed depth. Fans, however, have not been kind to the creative team's booking of Naomi since her comeback, as many expressed frustration over the decision to book the former SmackDown Women's Champion for the most recent iteration of the Blue brand. Following the controversial incident in May 2022, when she and Sasha Banks left a filming of Raw due to disagreements over creative direction, Naomi made her WWE comeback at Royal Rumble earlier this year. After Banks left for Japan and the glowing star joined Impact Wrestling, the two went on to become well-known. Sasha is said to be joining AEW, but Naomi participated in the Women's Royal Rumble match in January and went back to her former hunting territory. A few days later, the 36-year-old was given a job on SmackDown, and ever since she has played a significant role in the company's women's division. Naomi competed on SmackDown where she was defeated by Tiffany Stratton. Fans weren't happy with the scheduling choice since, in addition to having her entrance shortened, the past champion was utilized as a career stepping stone for a newcomer. Many people believe that Naomi is being punished for leaving the Women's Elimination Chamber match in 2022 because she was the first person eliminated from the competition. Dominik Mysterio quits the Judgement Day. The Judgement Day and Dominik Mysterio have had the time of their lives together. but he might soon leave the group to pursue a personal objective in the run-up to WWE WrestleMania 40. For Dominik Mysterio, the road to WrestleMania 40 has been, to put it mildly, perplexing. Dirty Dom hinted at a battle between himself and Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship during the most recent episode of WWE Raw, but they ended up fighting over Andrade, who is also presumably vying for the coveted title. If he doesn't get a shot at the championship, the former NXT North American champion could have to find another opponent. Dominik can grow discouraged if he isn't able to advance. He might team up with Santos Escobar and Legado del Fantasma on SmackDown to take on Rey Mysterio and the Latino World Order. It would be a great choice for Dirty Dom to carry on his long-standing battle with his father, culminating in the grandest stage of them all. The 26-year-old superstar might depart from his present faction entirely or only for a short while. Seeing how Rhea Ripley and the other members of the Judgement Day respond to the circumstances will be interesting. Even though it would be fascinating to observe, this scenario is currently merely conjecture. The Rock attacks Cody Rhodes' family. Recently, WWE superstar The Rock attacked Cody Rhodes' cherished family member harshly on social media. The American Nightmare, seeking retribution for the Great One's slap at WrestleMania XL Kickoff, challenged the latter to a one-on-one battle at the Elimination Chamber, Perth Premium Live event. Rhodes suggested a singles match, but the People's Champion declined on the most recent episode of Friday Night SmackDown. At WWE WrestleMania XL Night 1, he and Roman Reigns then issued a challenge for a tag match against the American Nightmare and Seth Rollins. The Rock recently shared a video of his new products on Instagram. The Rock wore a t-shirt in the video that portrayed him slapping Cody Rhodes and calling his followers crybabies. In the caption of the photo, the Great One also took a serious jab at Rhodes' cherished dog, Pharaoh. The great news about the sales of this instant classic t-shirt is that 100% of the bag goes to Cody's goofy dog's head. Link in bio. Enjoy the shirt. Enjoy the ride. Let's all hashtag pray for his head, he wrote. Tail Rhodes recently criticized the Great One on Twitter for disparaging their dog. Going after a dog is almost as low as all the bots, she wrote. The Rock's presence on SmackDown affects other popular stars. This week on WWE SmackDown, The Rock and the Bloodline made a visit. According to a source, the Great One and his cousins not only responded to Cody Rhodes' challenge, but they also had an impact on other well-known stars' screen time. Last week, during the Premium Live event Elimination Chamber, Cody Rhodes challenged the Great One to a one-on-one bout at any point in the future. The former WWE champion responded to the American Nightmare's challenge on this week's SmackDown edition with a counter-offer of his own. The Rock and the other members of the Bloodline performed an hour-long segment for the WWE Universe on SmackDown. Fightful Select claims that the section ran longer than expected, which reduced the amount of time other stars had on television. According to the piece, Naomi and Tiffany Stratton were only allotted 9 minutes, including commercials and entrances, when they were originally intended to receive a combined 2 parts. And lastly, Paul Heyman notices The Rock's L sign at Roman Reigns. It is necessary for Paul Heyman to speak with Roman Reigns in private. The tribal chief was finally addressed by The Rock on the most recent edition of SmackDown. The Brahma Bull issued a formidable challenge that called for him and Reigns to compete in a tag bout at WrestleMania XL against Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. The Bloodline then lifted their fingers into the air and stood proudly together in the ring. This time too, The Rock made the L sign. The Great One recently formally joined the Bloodline and performed the same gesture. But this time, Paul Heyman saw the same thing and seemed genuinely alarmed. A lot of fans have been thinking that The Rock would help Cody wrap up the tale at WrestleMania this year by betraying Roman Reigns. The L motion made by the People's Champion may very well be relevant later on in the narrative. Heyman must act quickly to fulfill his obligations and speak with Reigns in private without telling The Rock. Heyman could bring up the fact that The Rock made the L gesture in the photo with the Bloodline to Reigns. Additionally, the Wiseman must inform Reigns that The Rock was staring at him when he threatened to ensure that Cody leaves WrestleMania a loser. WWE may soon begin developing a feud between Roman Reigns and The Rock. The Brahma Bull may turn on the tribal chief at WrestleMania XL and align with Cody Rhodes, starting a feud with the Bloodline that would ultimately finish at WrestleMania the following year, if fan speculation about the match is any indication. If The Rock and Reigns get to the ring, it will unquestionably be the biggest dream match in recent memory. Fans would love to see these two real-life cousins square off in a thrilling bout deserving of becoming WrestleMania 41's main event once Cody wraps up the tale. Thank you for watching, subscribe for more wrestling content, and see you in the next video.